Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I'm going to talk about what cruelty free and what vegan is on this channel. So if you're new here, welcome, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So in the United States there is no legal definition as to what cruelty free means. So a company could just slap cruelty-free on their products, or, a bunny on their products, and say like, oh, we're cruelty-free, but maybe the ingredients have been tested on animals. Maybe the product has been tested on animals when it's in production. Maybe a third party is testing the finished product. So it can be very difficult to determine which brands are actually truly cruelty free, again, because there is no legal definition. My personal definition is that there is no animal testing throughout the entire production of a product, from the raw ingredients to the actual production of the product to the finished product. There is no third-party testing on the company's behalf. The suppliers and distributors do not test on animals, and the company ensures that their suppliers and distributors do not test on animals and are not selling in markets where animal testing may be required, i.e. mainland China, but not limited to mainland China. And I'll get into that in a second. And so no animal testing at any point during the production of the product, and the distributors and suppliers don't test on animals. So that's just my personal standards. Again, you may have different standards. Some people don't buy from brands that have parent companies that test on animals. Some people don't consider those kind of brands to be cruelty-free. NYX is owned by L'Oreal. L'Oreal is not cruelty-free. They do test on animals. So again, it is up to you to determine what your personal standards are and which sources that you're going to personally trust. So, the two sources that I personally use are Logical Harmony and Leaping Bunny. I have been using Logical Harmony pretty much ever since I transitioned into being cruelty-free. And Tashina is super sweet, and she's very religious about keeping the brand list updated. I have seen some cruelty-free brand lists that have not been updated since 2010, which, And she's very thorough. She really digs into these brands and really gets to the bottom of whether or not they're cruelty-free or not. There are 4 lists on her website, which I will link down below. There's the cruelty-free brand list, the brands to avoid, the pending, and the gray area. So those are the 4 lists that you will see on Logical Harmony. I also trust Leaping Bunny because, again, like Logical Harmony, they have pretty strict standards when it comes to the brands that are on their list. So for me, those are the 2 sources that I use. But again, I do want to stress that it is up to you to determine which brands you feel comfortable supporting and which sources you trust. Now, one source that I just do not recommend is, oh, come on, focus. Is PETA. I just do not trust PETA. PETA does not have very strict standards, and I will leave an article in the description box from Ethical Elephant. She did a really good post about this, about the standards that PETA has versus Leaping Bunny versus, I can't think of the name right now, but there's a third one. Anyway, yeah, I'll post that in a description box. So, yeah. Now, another thing you may have noticed is vegan on the back of the glow kit. So, what's the difference between cruelty-free and vegan? Well, vegan and cruelty-free are not the same thing. For example, when it comes to eyeshadow, some of the red and kind of pinky shades are made with carmine, which is literally a crushed up beetle. So, for instance, something like the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, well, Anastasia is a cruelty-free brand and they do not test on animals. That particular product is not vegan because it has carmine in it. Carmine, obviously being a bug, is not vegan. So, vegan basically refers to no animal-derived ingredients such as carmine, beeswax, honey, lanolin, those kind of things. So a product could be cruelty-free but not vegan, and a product could be vegan but not cruelty-free. So they're not synonyms, they're not interchangeable, they mean two very different things. So, yeah. If you hear any noise in the background, I apologize. Yeah, there's a dog that's barking, so I apologize. Anyway, now what I want to get into is mainland China, because when it comes to mainland China, the animal testing laws can get a little bit confusing. So I want to go over it to the best of my knowledge and ability. So, in mainland China has a law that requires animal testing. So that means if somebody has a reaction or a complaint about a product, that product could be taken off the shelf and tested on animals. Now, this is for only foreign cosmetics. Okay, so brands like, NARS, for example. While they're made here in America, they do sell in China, where animal testing is, again, required. However, if a product is manufactured but not sold in China, then that brand can still be cruelty-free. An example of this is Elf. Elf is a cruelty-free brand. I do believe their products are made in China. Yeah, I don't know. But selling in China, not okay. for foreign cosmetics because they can be taken off the shelf and tested on animals. Now, a brand can sell in China and still get around the animal testing laws. Now, the only way to do that is by selling through e-commerce. And that's what e.l.f. does, is they sell in China through e-commerce. So they don't have to go through the animal testing because they're not being sold in physical stores in China. Now, when it comes to Hong Kong, Hong Kong does not have the same laws as China. So Hong Kong does not require animal testing by law. So, yeah, China, it can be kind of confusing, and the laws are always changing, and yeah. And that is why brands like Wet n Wild and NARS are not cruelty-free, because they are selling in a market where animal testing may occur. Now, some people may still consider NARS and Wet n Wild to be cruelty-free because they themselves are not testing on animals. It's through a third party and not the brand themselves. So again, up to you to decide what you are comfortable purchasing, which brands you're comfortable purchasing from, and whether or not you want to use vegan products. Alright, that about does it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or video requests, you are always free to leave them down in the description, in the comment section below, and I will be sure to do my best to respond. And as always, you can find me on Instagram at xgracefullyveganx and Vegan Amino at gracefullyvegan, same as it is here on YouTube. Links are always in the description box. I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.